Good morning. How are you?
How are you, Jared?
I'm doing good.
I mean, this is a kind of a quicker turnaround almost in a lot of ways for you, but it wasn't the quickest turnaround, and it almost was because you were going to fight 2 months ago.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was going to fight 2 months ago. I would have preferred to fight earlier, but it's all good. More time to train, more time to get better, more time to ingrain all the techniques I need for victory.
So why was it that you? Because I want to go back to that original booking. Why was it you wanted the turnaround so quickly? You haven't fought 3 months after a fight since you started in the UFC. Those first couple fights.
Yeah. Well, I've dealt with injuries in between fights and stuff, especially 2000, 20 and 21. Um, so, yeah, I wanted to get right back to it. Yeah, I wanted to get right. I wanted to stay. I want to stay busy in general, but things happen. At first, it was work early on in my UFC career, and now most recently, but in the past, the injuries. So yeah, I just want to stay busy. Of course, the title is always a goal. So for progression is a must, and the only way to make that happen is to fight.
Of course, and you are coming off of that first UFC championship opportunity. No, it didn't go your way, of course, but what were kind of some of the takeaways that you had from the experience of this title fight?
Um, I just learned a lot. I learned a lot from that fight. Moving around with Israel, one of the best in the game, and experiencing that. His ability to avoid damage and pick his shots and stuff. I learned a lot from that experience. On top of that, being uh, in the championship fight, title fight on one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, and on top of all that, all the development, all the things I started developing during camp, all that has carried over into now, if you will. So, it was a very good learning experience. So, and learning experience to build off of. So that's what I've been doing these last couple of months. If I would have fought earlier, again, it's not. I wanted to fight earlier, but it's not a bad thing that we're fighting now because it was more time to continue to build on those things.
So, what kind of went through your head going back to when that fight? Because it was like I think it was late August that the fight was actually scrapped, or as in this case, postponed. What was going through your head when you find out? Okay, this fight's taken away.
It was in October. The fight was scheduled.
But right, but you found out in late August, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, found out late August. So we figured out what was going to happen. I figured they were going to reschedule it. So at that time, oh crap. Oh well, go back to the gym, get back to work. I took the family to Hawaii, so we took a nice little vacation. Came back to Arizona, got right back to work. Got the phone calls I like to get, and here we are.
How was the Hawaii trip? Did you guys have fun?
Oh, Hawaii is nice. Maui was real nice. We were on Maui, and oh, how can I not remember the name of the town we were in? Paia. We were in Paia. So it was real nice, some good food. The weather was nice, and the water was even nicer.
Probably a good recharge too, because obviously you are still
Yeah,
coming off of that big fight.
it was a really good recharge. When I got back to training, I felt very refreshed. Uh, I felt really good. So it was a really good reset button.
Excellent, excellent. Now, obviously, you do have Sean Strickland in front of you this weekend. As far as he goes, I mean, do you have any history? Have you interacted or trained together over the years?
No, no, I've never trained with him. Never interacted with him outside of no, I haven't interacted with him. The closest I've been to him was the press conference for the title fight.
So
So
there's no like bad blood or anything like that. It's just another fight for at least from your perspective, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He's kind of an unusual guy. He's known for saying some of these weird things up in the lead up, like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out there and I just want to murder somebody in the cage or something." And then he goes out there, and maybe the performance doesn't match the kind of talk. I mean, is that you kind of cognizant of things like that coming in, or you just kind of block this out?
No, I don't really think about those type of things because that can happen to any of us. For my last title fight, I told I said I wanted to make it look easy, So not to say that it was super hard in there fighting him, but I didn't make it look easy. That's for damn sure. So it happens. We're gonna say things that don't come true. Everybody, the world wants us to say things and then see it happen. Um, but you know, that's not the way things go all the time. So no, I don't have any again, I don't have any emotional connection or emotional opinion about Sean and the things that he does. They haven't affected or hurt me in any way. So yeah, I'm just glad he signed on the contract.
Sure, sure. What's your assessment of him as a fighter and maybe how you two match up? I know you can't say everything, I get it, but what can you say about him?
And I think he's a hard-nosed fighter. He comes forward, he puts his fist in your face. uh, I hear he's a pretty good grappler on the ground as well. Just hasn't seen it because he hasn't needed it. Which is a testament to how good his fighting is. So he's a good competitor, a good opponent to have, and I'm excited to have him.
Now he's coming off of his loss to Alex Pereira, who's now the champion. You're coming off of the loss to the guy he beat, Israel Adesanya. When you saw kind of obviously it was a bit of an upset, at least on the odds, but this was a fight that Pereira has won twice before and now 3 times. When you see that happen, it's the champion in your division. There's upheaval. There's maybe a new opportunity. What kind of goes through your head in the aftermath of a fight like that?
What I thought the thing that went through my head is that, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, is that the belt changing hands the way it did brings more interest to the division as opposed to bringing more interest to Israel himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate that he lost the belt the way he did. I thought he was on his way to winning that fight, but it is what it is. It's the name of the game. That it happens. Congrats to Alex. And yeah, that's it.
There
It
must be
happens.
some stakes to this fight, though, because obviously you guys were again against two of the best fighters on the planet, just going back a couple months ago, and in theory you win again, you're still right there. Is this kind of going through your head like, hey, maybe I'm a fight, maybe 2 fights, or maybe just this fight away from another championship opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. In this position, I'm ranked number 3. That's always the thought in my mind. That's because it's right there. So you can reach out and touch it. I can damn near taste it. It's right there. So hell yeah, I'm not who could ignore that. So yes, I definitely want to perform. Um, the way I want to perform this weekend would definitely tell the matchmakers or whoever is out there that makes the decision that yeah, maybe we should give him a title shot again
Now
or
he
a contender fight. You know what I'm saying? I one or the
Sure.
other.
Sure. Now, obviously, that fight that we're talking about, that title fight from November, that was at Madison Square Garden. You had your own Madison Square Garden moment a couple years ago against a local guy in David Branch. You and I had actually spoken in the lead up to that one. It was at the media scrum, right?
The media,
That
yeah.
was a big win for you. Take me through kind of that feeling of having that Madison Square Garden moment.
It was a good moment. Those moments are fleeting though. So like you said, that was what 2018, November 2018. That was over 4 years ago. Uh, so the moment was fleeting. It was definitely a great moment. Um, it was quickly overlapped by Brazil though. It was because I fought Anderson after that fight, so it was quickly overlapped, and I would say that fight was matched by the performance in Copenhagen after Brazil. So, but it was good, the walkout, the pre-walkout motivation I got from the fan in the stands. I forgot the kid's name. Ironside MMA, I think is his name on Instagram. Um, and then the performance, fighting top level, multiple. What was he? He was like a dual weight champion in another organization, and he's a legend in the sport. He's been around for a long time. He's fought a lot of different top names. So at that point, my career was was shooting for the moon, if you will.
Sure, sure. Hey, while we're looking back, I want to ask you another question here. Go take me all the way back. What is your first experience watching mixed martial arts? What was that?
I think the first fight time I saw fight was I was I had left college and I was at home at my mama's house, and I was getting ready to enlist in the army. And I think it was Shogun who was fighting. I can't remember who he was fighting. It was 2005, I believe.
So it was Pride.
No, it was UFC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably a little sooner then, probably maybe 2007 or so.
Okay, Shogun didn't get there until later.
Yeah, because
Maybe,
Pride closed in 2007.
maybe it was okay. It was somebody. It was one of those
Sure.
Hall of Famers. But yeah, I remember watching that, and I was like, man, that looked fun. And at the time, my mother had she was opening her home up to foster kids and stuff. And one of them was a freaking martial artist. Was like lived in a Buddhist temple in Ecuador or El Salvador or someplace like that. And he was a refugee, so he knew some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we had gloves. We would spar and stuff like that every now and then. And then I joined the army, and there was they had modern army combatives, and that was my first real taste of formal martial arts, not just in the backyard with gloves on, trying to do some stuff. And the army was my first taste of formal martial arts, which was grappling, modern army combatives, the grappling stuff. I did train for a few months, did a tournament. I was hooked. Wanted to do it throughout the rest of my army career. It didn't really unfold the way I would have liked it to. But as soon as I got out, I found the judo gym, moved to Alaska, found what was Gracie Baja, Alaska, but what is now Legacy Jiu Jitsu, and Anchorage Brazilian Jiu Jitsu that was up there, and a few other gyms that are up there that helped hone my skills to get me to where I am now, So it's been quite a journey for myself,
Of
and I've
course,
enjoyed every bit of it.
of course. Hey, by the way, I want to ask you when you are like walking around between fights, you're not in training necessarily. What's your typical walk around way? What does your body like stabilize at?
I'm always training, you know. I
Well, let's
might
say you're
take
not in a
a
fight
couple.
camp, like you're not trying to start the cut.
Yeah, I would say I'm about 212, 215,
Hmm.
you know, and then I work out and I'll get down to 210, 208,
And you used to be a
and
heavyweight,
I'll
of course.
fluctuate. Yeah, but I fluctuate big time. I can get up to like 230 if I'm like not doing anything for weeks on end. I'm just eating like I don't have a fight coming up. So eating like an undisciplined oaf.
What do you typically walk to the cage at?
Walk down probably like two, maybe a light heavyweight, 205, 202. Yeah.
So once the
I
fight's
think I
done,
was
you can get back to kind of that eating like an oaf, right? What are you gonna eat after the fight?
after the fight, I hadn't really decided what I wanted to eat after the fight. Nothing too crazy. Because after weight cuts, I don't like going to find the greasiest thing because that my body up, so I can
Sure.
feel it.
But then after the
I
fight, you can
can
do what you want.
yeah, but I try to stay clean. I try
Okay.
to stay as natural as possible. I don't like go to a fast food restaurant and gorge myself on chemically, saying created foods and stuff because that ain't really food to me. So, but I might indulge somewhere somehow, but it's got to be a top quality type thing for it to draw my iron. Other than that, I'll keep it pretty general. A meat, some fruit, some veggies, something like that. If I can find something extraordinary, extravagant, then I'll go for it. But yeah, I try to stay as natural as possible, as clean as possible.
Of course, of course. And last question I have for you, I like to ask this for fighters. What is the coolest technique in combat sports?
The coolest technique?
Yeah, like what's one you say like that's cool?
Uh, hmm. Oh, there's so many. I can't really say that there's one that's the coolest. I have a few in my repertoire that I think are pretty cool. Um,
What do you got?
I got some spin in there, some some acrobatic type stuff. I call them my $50,000 moves. I don't want to say what they are on camera. I want to show the world
That's
first. I'm not
fine.
planning
That's
on
fine.
doing
You
it.
can keep them. You can
Yeah.
keep them.
Yeah. But the best technique I would say is to have no technique, as the Grandmaster Bruce Lee once said.
Right on, right on. But I like that the spinning ish. That's what's up. Everybody loves the spinning stuff.